And I think that's one thing that we need to remember, right? Like this control flow syntax and all the other improvements that we're going to be talking about here are for everyone. That means every developer that's building Angular, right? The people like us who might want to build custom control flow syntax, whatever we want to call them, I'm not sure, actually sure, whatever. We are small in terms, like us, in terms of the group size, are small compared to the people that are actually going to be leveraging this, right? So, it's going to be nearly impossible to cater to every single developer on the planet, just because that would be, I mean, like no frameworks even already been able to do that, right? So we have to remember that the Angular team is building this such that it works for everyone, and they're focusing their time on the things that make sense to focus on, right? The call it the target market, or that's a business term, right? The target market for the control flow syntax is not like customizing control flow syntax is not every Angular developer. So I see why people want to be able to extend it, but I just don't see that as a drawback at this current time. Sure, maybe once this is mature and everybody's figured it out, we resolved all the other issues around like making it harder to onboard to Angular now that all the resources are different. If after we've already figured out and it's gotten hold that we want to extend it, then I think we need to start pushing the Angular team to do it. But I don't think it's the right time right now to say, oh, Angular team, why can't we extend these things? We should be able to extend them at RFC time. I think it's just too early to do that personally.
Yeah, I agree. We are definitely years away from any real world like implementation. And we have to go ahead, Armin.
Yeah, thanks. One thing what I would add is that while extending existing control flows, I'm speaking specifically about the control flow statements like loops and so on, usually meant that people wanted to fix something that they didn't like about Angular, something that was problematic, maybe a performance issue, maybe how it interacted with RxJS or whatever. So there is no reason to build a custom implementation of something that is already in the framework, unless the implementation in the framework has a drawback, as some significant problem that people have in certain situations. I don't think people, for example, build Rx Angular just purely for fun. It's a great library, obviously. Lots of people use it, but it addressed specific issues, right? So if now with new approaches, the framework fixes those issues or provides some tools, built-in tools to kind of go around those issues, that will mean that those libraries will kind of take a hit. But I mean, it's a bit of a sensitive thing. I think that on one hand, sure, the framework should go forward with the things that they personally find more important or more applicable to what they are envisioning. And if they think they are fixing something with this, and there are already solutions out there, perfectly good, great solutions, but they probably shouldn't think about that. The other aspect is more PR aspect that, maybe this will impact innovation. Maybe people will think, oh, if they're going to change this and that, maybe I'm not going to write a library about it. And that is a problem, but that is not a sort of code level problem. I think that's a PR problem, and I think the team is going to address that too. I don't have any, I'm just making a guess.
You wouldn't even like have a right to say because you have NDAs, right?
Yeah, obviously.
We can't talk about what the team has talked about, right? About this kind of stuff unless they've said it publicly. But yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously, even if I wanted to, we don't have information on that. But it's something that we can understand that, library authors some of them don't want to like this, or maybe will think that at least for a time, a framework is a bit unstable, things might change and so on. But yeah, I guess people behind this understand this better than we do at this point. There is a core thing that is going on, and that thing is making Angular easier to adopt. We can see it with every new thing, even if they didn't, they did explicitly tell about it, that they want to simplify reactivity, they want to simplify the template, but even if they didn't say it out loud, by the nature of the changes that we get now, we can feel that this is the core goal right now. Make it easier to adopt, make it easier to learn. And yeah, that sure will involve instability. And if that is the goal that the team behind Angular set, then yeah, I think there are reasons that people believe it is important.